So now let's go ahead and clarify these. So Spirit, help us clarify the Buddha card for current finances. Let's clarify the card for current finance. Spirit, 2 cards for Buddha current finances. So let it be a mystery in reverse. And we got next new moon. So this tells me that this spiritual wealth that you're going for this life purpose, it's not to be a mystery. It's to be known. It's to be let everyone know what your path is, where you're going, and you know what the end result is coming if you follow this path here. And then the next moon, you need to be starting this within the next moon cycle. So check out when that next new moon is so you'll know when to start this spiritual wealth growth that you're working toward. Now let's clarify the rose. So the rose is coming out in reverse. So next month looks promising. So that's in the reverse. So there's a new moon coming up next month. I think it's May 12th, but I'm not sure. But check that when that new moon is. And this is telling you that it could take place next month, that this is definitely going to happen. If it doesn't happen next month, it's definitely going to happen after March, because March is in reverse. So if March is in reverse, it may be a year. It may be a year from May when you finally develop this spiritual wealth. It's going to take you about a year. And in that year, you're going to be able to, through this abundance block. But you got to start next month. But this is in reverse. So next month look promising in reverse. So I would say you got to start next month. And it's going to be after March when you start to see the of this abundance block being released. Okay, now let's clarify the gift card. And the gift card is for financial aid energy. Gift card. Let's clarify the gift card. Okay. We got next couple years came out half sideways. And then we got time is frozen. So now you only got a couple years to do this from what it's saying. So we know if we start next month, by May of next year, we should be spiritually sound. But the spirit is telling us it's only giving you a couple months to achieve this, or time is going to freeze on you. And then you're going to be stuck. But we're going to see what's going to come after that. And then they're going to give you a little, spirit is saying it's going to give you a little slack when you get to this part. Because this is just telling me that you should be, you may feel like you don't love yourself, but you got to love yourself. Even though you may feel like you don't, you got to love yourself. Use your spiritual wealth that you're getting to love yourself all this year to get to this gift. Okay? So if you got a year to do that. Clarify the feather, and the feather is our blessing. So let's clear our unexpected feather. All right, Spirit, 2 cards for unexpected blessing, for the feather, unexpected blessing. All right, Spirit. So we got our first card that came out was it's pushed back due to blockages. So that's in reverse. So that right there, with this being in reverse, is telling us that we don't worry about no blockage because it's not happening right now. Now, if we don't get our spiritual wealth done within the next couple years, then it's going to freeze up our time. But right now, we're open to being able to do whatever it is to receive this unexpected blessing. And now we see in the upright that next week looked promising. So most definitely next week, you need to start tuning into what it is that you want to build spiritually, that you want to be sound and spiritually wealthy in. Start thinking about that next week. That's what that is telling you there. For our 2 cards that we got is our next aligned action. All right, Spirit. So we need 2 cards for our next aligned action for treasure. All right, Spirit. 2 cards for next aligned actions for treasure. Oh, I guess that's 1. That's 2. Next one. All right. In spirit with 2 cards for crown for next aligned actions. All right. Spirit. 2 cards for crown for next aligned action. Okay. So now we got, let's see here. Okay, for next aligned action, we got 4 cards. We got give it time, it's in the works. Next fall, regarding the treasure. Next spring is in reverse. And then July for a crown. Now, give it time, it's in the work. Next fall. So spring is in reverse. So what comes before spring is winter, right? But then we have July, which is summer. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is give it time. It's in the works next fall. That's for the treasure. So let's look at church. So worry-free finances, money in reserve access, career, executive sales, planning, or hidden talent. So what it's saying is give yourself that year because it's in the works. And you should definitely start seeing things by next fall, right? So as for the crown, it came out with next spring in reverse in July. And the crown says overcoming obstacles, power play, wealth, career, owner, business, taking charge, making progress. So and this is in reverse. So I would say this past spring, you've overcome a lot of obstacles and you're making power plays to build that wealth, right? So this is in place. So in July, if you start to, okay, so now that you've overcome those challenges and you're making these power plays and you start this spiritual wealth, by next fall, you're going to be your blessing because your treasures is going to come in for fall versus it coming in May of next year. So that your blessing that's coming in look, May is in the spring. So instead of it going to come in at fall. So if you start that spiritual wealth in the next week, and don't be ashamed of it. This is what this is telling you. Do not be ashamed. It don't have to be a mystery when you're going through this, when you're building this spiritual wealth. It does not have to be a mystery because you want to ask to enlighten you and fill you with word and the knowledge that he needs to help you be successful and prosperous, because this reading is for us to be prosperous, and that is his entire purpose for us in life, is to be prosperous, whether it's building into other people for other people to build into you. But that's the purpose of our being here on earth, is to make sure that we're fulfilling his purpose for us to be able to understand. And if you build that spiritual wealth, the financial part is just going to be a treasure. It's going to be worry free. It's going to be great. Okay, we're going to do our 1 card on our successful oracles. All right. These are successful people, entrepreneurs that can give us also insight, spirit. And ask that you provide us 1 card of the Success Oracle for this coin check reading of the Success Oracles. Alrighty. So we have Adam Smith. Okay. Smith was a free market, is worth more than gold. You scratch my back, an invisible hand will scratch yours. Private enterprise, it ain't over till it's overseen. Okay. Adam Smith say a free market is worth more than gold. So spiritual wealth is always free because look, it's the invisible hand that will scratch yours. So if you're feeding other people, then spirit is going to feed you. And spirit's going to make sure that you're comfortable enough to feed other people. So that's Adam Smith. Okay, let's find Adam Smith. Adam Smith say private enterprise. It ain't over till it's overseen. So Adam Smith was born in Scotland, 1723 to 1790. Okay. The modern economy takes a paternity test. The results say Adam Smith, author of The Free Market, Fenzai, The Wealth of Nations, 1776. The economicist philosopher believed a country's wealth is measured in production, not gold. Lightning the lazy fair fire. Smith challenged societies to call their own shots. Government oversight, nah, only feeds the fat cat. An invisible hand will fairly regulate business instead. A staunch individualist, Smith also had a soft side. Yes, we're all driven by self-interest, but getting along is in our self-interest. Selfish rights are human rights. If you will see invisible proof. So with Adam Smith, the only thing that I would say is that spiritual wealth, let that hand scratch your back while you scratch other people's back or help them grow. And then you think about that a rose has thorns, so prickly, right? So you may have to be a couple people who backs you have to scratch. It ain't over. That's what it's saying. It's not over. When you hit this block, remember it's not over. Coming. Just keep building on your spiritual wealth. It doesn't have to be a secret. If you feel down, speak about it. It doesn't have to be a secret. Say something. Get down if you have to. Just get it out. Okay, don't forget to tell me in the comments if you're ready to secure your bag. All right, babes. You got the message. Now go manifest it. And don't forget, the bag is already yours. See you in the next one. For our affirmation, we're going to say this 3 to 5 times. The bag is already mine. I'm just ready to catch it. The bag is already mine. And I'm just ready to catch it. The bag is already mine. And I'm just ready to catch it.